Bash in Berlin is set to take place this weekend, and so I figured there was no better time than for me to come on here and give you guys my predictions for these 5 matches. And the first match that we're going to talk about is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in the 4-corner strap match. And I gotta say, I am personally super excited for this match because this has been like a real blood feud between Drew and Punk. And I know a lot of people are saying that they don't like the 4-corner stipulation of the match, but at the end of the day, it's CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. They can figure out a way to make this match slap. But as for my prediction, I have to say that Punk is going to take this one just for the sole fact that they need to go 1-1 here. Because this feud is far from over with. You know that they're going to want to drag this thing onto Bad Blood because realistically, that is the only place where a feud like this can end. And the only way to keep this feud going is if Punk ends up winning this match, because at the end of the day, if Drew McIntyre goes 2-0, it ends right there. Drew has no reason to keep facing him after that. So yeah, in this one, give me Punk here clean, but this match needs to get bloody. This match needs to get brutal because they really need to sell the fact that these two hate each other. And the last thing that I'm going to say about this match is rather kind of a question, and I'm wondering if Seth Rollins is somehow, some way going to get involved in this match, because at the end of the day, we know that they want to reinsert him into this feud. Because the final payoff for Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk's feud is ultimately most likely going to lead to a Seth Rollins versus CM Punk match at WrestleMania this year. So having Seth come out here and trying to cost Punk the match would kind of further build their story up. But we did just see Seth throwing up blood, so that could be out of the picture. I'm not too sure. And to move on from that, this next match we're going to talk about is the team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill going against the tag team, the Unholy Union. And of course in this match, the Women's Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line. And I've got to say, they have been building up this feud for a hot minute, and it is just not for me personally. And that has nothing to do with the Unholy Union. I think that they are doing a fantastic job. It's more so the fact that we know that either Jade Cargill or Bianca is going to turn heel, and I'm just ready for them to pull the trigger. Because we know at some point Bianca and Jade are going to leave the women's tag team division, and I'm just tired of main event talent taking up the tag team scene. Because think about all these women's tag teams that we have across the entire roster. They really need to be having these big upper echelon feuds with the Unholy Union, not just a team of 2 main eventers that they decided to throw together. But that's just my personal belief. I do think that this match can still be good. I do think the build-up has been somewhat good. But like I said, it's just personally not my favorite match on this card. But that can 100% change, because if Bianca or Jade were to turn heel at Bash in Berlin, I would 1000% be here for that. Because like I said, man, I am losing interest in a Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill feud, so they need to go ahead and hurry this up before I fully lose interest. And for my prediction on this match, it's not even who I think is going to win, it's who I think needs to win, and that's the Unholy Union. Because if you have Unholy Union lose here, that's going to take all of this momentum that they've been building towards. And all for what? So you can make Bianca and Jade look a little bit stronger with the Christmas tree ornament on their shoulder? So yeah, for this one, book me the Unholy Union winning this match, and if they somehow pull the trigger on Bianca and Jade, I'm going to be super disappointed and super worried for the women's scene. This next match is going to be the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, versus Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan. And when I say the build-up for this has been clicking with me like a glove, man, this has been one of my favorite build-ups to a match that I've seen in a hot minute. And I really think that's because the WWE has been doing a good job of building up both sides to look somewhat strong. Like, yeah, at points in times the New Judgment Day has gotten 2v5'd, but at the end of the day, they've also coming out on top a good amount of times. And then for the Terror Twins, of course they look strong because it's buff-ass Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Of course they're going to look strong. And I think my prediction for this match is actually somewhat controversial, because I think Liv and Dominik need to win this match clean. Because ultimately, I think the WWE's big plan is to have Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan at Bad Blood, and also have Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at Bad Blood. And I think going into that PLE, the New Judgment Day needs to look as strong as possible, and what better way to do that than to have them win clean against the Terror Twins. And I think that this would be a shock to everyone watching, and that's a good thing, because sometimes I think the booking can be a little bit predictable, which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes predictable is good, that's why it's predictable. But sometimes we need to throw a curveball in here to kind of spice things up a little bit. And then come Bad Blood, you have this strong Judgment Day, and then you have Damian Priest coming in here and knocking off Finn Balor, and of course you have Rhea Ripley coming back and taking back her championship, because mommy is always on top. And regardless of what they do with this feud, I think this match is going to slap. I'm going to enjoy it. So if they don't go with my prediction, I'm not going to be butthurt, man. But I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this one because it is going to be a great ride. The next match we're going to talk about is Randy Orton versus Gunther, the Ring General, and man, am I excited for this match. As we all know, they planted the seeds for this way back when in the King of the Ring tournament, when Randy Orton's shoulders were not fully on the mat when Gunther took him down with the pin. And seeing that this match is in Berlin, I don't know who the fans are going to be cheering for. Because we have seen Randy overseas, and man, does he get the most generational of pops. But at the end of the day, they're also going to be rooting for Gunther because he's going to be somewhat that hometown hero. So I think it's going to be a weird dilemma where they want to root for Randy, but they kind of have to root for Gunther. And I think that this is ultimately going to make for the best crowd reactions. And as we saw at Backlash in France between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, when you have a fantastic match, which Randy and Gunther is going to be, and you add a super loud and super enthusiastic crowd behind it, you are booking a 5-star main event caliber GOAT match, and that's exactly what I'm expecting. The only thing that I'm worried about in this match is the fact that we need to make Gunther look strong, you know? This doesn't need to be a squash match, but yes, Gunther needs to come out of here looking like, hey, I just beat one of the greatest wrestlers of all time in Randy Orton. Who's gonna stop me now? But we have to do this while also keeping Randy's reputation at an all-time high. And that is going to be almost impossible, but we know the WWE can do great things, so I have no doubt in my mind that Randy and Gunther will come out of this match looking like $1 million. If I could throw my 2 cents into this match, the only thing that I personally would like to see booked is I would like to see them start planting seeds for a Randy Orton heel turn. Because when you look at the SmackDown roster, there is no formidable feuds for Cody Rhodes, especially when you talk about heels. So they just need to drop a little hint that could say, oh, Randy might not be as nice of a guy as he's been showing the last year on TV. But what can you say, man? If they don't, you know, this match is going to be great either way, no matter what they do with it. So yeah, give me Gunther in this one. And for the main event, let's get into Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes, which, you know, me and a lot of other fans online aren't the most excited for this match. And it's simply for the fact that it's a babyface champion versus a babyface that he has been teaming with for the last 2 years. So why are they going at each other? And for me, that's just lame. But, you know, when you look at the SmackDown roster, there was really no better option. And I'm going to be making a completely separate video on why Cody's title run is kind of not living up to the hype so far. But that's for another day to kind of give a sneak peek into my thoughts on it. I think that they need to take the bloodline over here and take Cody Rhodes over here. They need to make them 2 completely separate storylines, because right now, the only thing that you can think when you think of Cody Rhodes' title run is The Rock, Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns. And that's because you ultimately think that he's going to have to feud with these guys because of the seeds that they've been planting. But if you take that away and you save all that for later, you can tap into a heel Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. You can tap into Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. You can tap into CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. And all of these matches would actually feel like a realistic shot at the challenger winning because he's so far from the bloodline story. But that is a completely different story. Let's get back to Cody and Kevin. Look, we all know that this match from an in-ring standpoint is going to be amazing. You know, you have 2 of your best wrestlers in the entire company, so that's not what I'm complaining about. What I'm complaining about is the fact that this match just seems thrown together because they had no other plans. And in the ring, we know that this can be a 5-star match. That's not what I'm complaining about. I just hate the fact that there is no storyline to this feud whatsoever. And ultimately, that's a booking problem. Triple H is going to have to figure out some real feuds for Cody before fans turn so far to this, Cody's title run is boring, we want Roman, before fans completely turn on Cody. But yeah, for my prediction of this match, give me Cody Rhodes winning clean. And again, if I can throw my 2 cents into this match, you're going to have one of the best crowds that you have had all year. You're going to be overseas, and we know how those overseas crowds are. Let Kevin Owens turn heel, because the reaction you're going to get is going to be insane, and it's honestly going to be worth the payoff. And if they don't decide to do this, man, I honestly don't know where I see Cody's title run going forward. And yeah, those were my 5 match predictions for this weekend. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And if you guys made it this far into the video, I appreciate you so much. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the noti bell, as you don't want to miss any of my daily uploads. And thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.